Hello guys and welcome back. So now it's time to test the methods that we've just created in the previous video. We've created the method to reset game, to start the timer, to start the game here, and also to tick time and then to stop the game, okay? And also to start a high timer, okay? So all these methods we have created in the previous video. Now it's time to give them a try, okay? So for that, we need to go to this button, okay? So that's, let's close out that, and then this play button, let's leave it. So we have to go to start stop button, okay? So previously, when we click that button, we were showing this bottom sheet, okay? Now we need to do more checks here. So now even this start stop, let's quickly move it in the constants, okay? So here let's do start, and then we want to put start, and then let's also do stop. We want to put that there, and then we can come here and then just call our constants here, okay? Like that, and then we can import that. So this should be stop, and then I'm just gonna copy that. Start like that, okay? Now let's continue here. So here, the first thing we are going to do once you press, now we're not going to directly call that bottom sheet. Here we need to have some checks, okay? First, we're going to check if the game is playing, okay? Check if the game is playing like that. So here, let's have that check. So this condition is going to be, we know that we are reading the game provider here. So let's say game provider dot is playing, okay? So if this is true, we are simply going to if it's playing, which means there's a red button here for stop, we are going to ask the user if he wants to quit, okay? So we're gonna show dialog to ask the user if he wants to stop the game, okay? If it is playing. And then in the else, that's where now we're going to show that bottom sheet. So let's cut it from there. We cut it, and then we just gonna paste it like that, okay? Great. So now we can continue now. So here, this is a to do, we'll do it later, okay? Next now is just to check what's happening here, okay? So here, if on tap action, remember if we go in the bottom sheet, once you click on the, okay, we did not put the click action here, okay? So once you click on here, we need to dismiss the bottom sheet, and then we need to, after we dismiss the bottom sheet, we also need to call this tap action, okay? This tap action, okay? So this comment which is coming up when I do that, it's because I've installed another AI coding assistant, this continue, but it's disabled for now. because my Copilot subscription is coming to an end, and then I just want to try something else. Okay, these other assistants. So now let's call that here. All right. So here, not that we want to call our actions. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay. We just need to say, first of all, we pop the context. Let's say pop the bottom sheet, and then after that, call action. Yeah, like that. Call action button, and then to true. Okay. So we are going to do the same even on the login button. Okay. We will pop the context and then call the action to true. Okay, this. Okay, so now that we do this, when we come back here, we're just going to check which is this. Okay, so if value, meaning we have popped it to true, we need to start the game. Okay, so let's uncomment. All right, so in this case, if we have popped it to true, we need to start the game. So this is going to be different depending on which buttons. Okay, because if you are in the sign in button, before we even do all of this, we have to run the sign in method here. Okay, so here we have to run sign in user. Okay, sign in user. Then after that, we can do all of these. Okay, great. So now let's go back to here. So here we simply going to start the game, and then that's all we need to do. Okay, because we don't have any other checks just yet. All right, so let's give it a try. So what we're gonna do is just to run the application again. Right, so the application has started. Now let's just click here. So here we just need to check this. Okay, now we can do the settings that we want. If we want the computer to be medium, hard, or easy, and then we can change if we want to play for time or if we want to play for words. Okay, so right now let's just play for words, and then here let's also put it on easy. And then if we change this to multiplayer, it's not going to work because this is multiplayer. Right now we are just checking for the single player. One other thing also before we even test here, if after the value here, we have to check if this is multiplayer or single player. Okay, so let's also cut this from here and then check if it's a multiplayer. Okay, now we are going to check like that. So okay, it's doing a lot. It's going to confuse us. Let's remove all of that. So here we're going to game provider dot what's that play type is single player. Okay, what is it called? How are we checking? Let's go to game provider. I've just forgotten already. So is it called game mode? Okay, game provider dot game mode is equal to game mode dot is multiplayer. Okay, so this has to be multi like that. Okay, so if it is multiplayer, here we are going to do things for multiplayer. Okay, do action for multiplayer. Okay, if it is multiplayer. In the else, so let's remove that. Okay, in the else, it's going to be for single player now. Okay, so for single player, we are going to start the game, but remember in that method of starting the game, we also have a time up. Okay, so if it is time up here, what we're gonna do, we have to do something here. So if it is time up, we're going to show the dialog that the game is over. Okay, so here we need to show the game over. We're going to create the game over screen. Okay, so let me delete all of that. I'm going to say show game over screen. Okay, so here we're going to use the page route builder. So I'm gonna say so game over page route builder. Okay, now let's log to game over. Okay, let's say game over on time. All right, on timer. Okay, so if it is time up, we're going to show that it's a game over here. That's what we're going to check after we start the game. Now let's also just hot reload and give it a try. Okay, time to try it. Wait, first before that we need some logs here to make sure that our application is running. So what is the method that, yeah, in the start timer here, yeah, in this tick, let's just be printing the time to see how the time is moving. Okay, log, let's print the play timer. Oh, here let's just say time. Okay, yeah, I think now that's about it. We are more than ready. Let's hot reload. So let's just keep everything the way it is. Let's keep it easy so that we can win. So now that it has started, let's go ahead. Fun. So if we wait, you can see that even the computer is entering its. Okay, now we have an error. First, let's have a look at our logs. Okay, the time is definitely not printing right. So the time is printing wrong, and then let's look at the error. Invalid value not in the inclusive. Okay, yeah, this is definitely coming from the time. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely not coming from the time. Let's look at our time method. So it's in the global, yeah, this one. So this is coming from game times at times. This is the 0.04. So there is no time. Okay, I see the problem. If we come here in our game times, if we convert this, there should be no, we don't have like 10 minutes or that. If we convert this, there's definitely time less than what we have here. Okay, I mean, yeah, because if we go beyond this, we are going to have an error. Okay, so this printing of this time is wrong. So the way we are calling our method here, we were using it just to display the time, but calling it here in the game provider on the, where is that, here we want to be counting from 0 seconds going up, so which means it should be 1 2 3 from here until it gets to there. Okay, so that's definitely wrong. So to fix this, we need to change this method that we are using to display time. Okay, we need to change how we are doing this. If we are using it to display the time, like first let's close the error. Yeah, so this is even nice that the error is we've got the error so that we can learn something here. Okay, let's hot reload. So if we press start, if we are using this method to display time here, when we click here like this, this method is correct. Okay, you can see that it's ending up to 4 minutes. So what caused an error is when it ticked there, it went to 5 because the way it was printing the time wrongly. Okay, we'll remove the logs. Okay, it was printing like from this side. Okay, so it was going faster. If we are playing the game, it should be printing from this side, like counting from this side. Okay, so that's why we got an error. So to fix this, we need to, if we want, we can create a separate method to display time here, or we can just reuse this method and then have some checks, which is what we're going to do, because we always need to reuse widgets if we can. Okay, just to avoid redoing the same things. Okay, so now let's go to the global method and then let's reuse this widget. So what we're gonna do here is this. First of all, let's wrap it with the brackets, and then this time let's require it, because either way we are going to need to send this time. Okay, now let's also send another boolean which is not required. So this bool is going to be let's name it as the playing. Okay, so this is going to be equal to false. So we're going to use these. If we want to display the time when the game is playing, we'll display the time up here. Okay, now we will use this widget again. So what we have to do is, if the time is if we are using it as to display the playing time, we have to check here. Okay, all we have to do is just to check if it is playing. What we'll get is we're going to get this time, and then we'll do this. Okay, we'll copy that, then paste it here, and then in the else we'll use it like this. Okay, if as long as this is true, we're going to use it like this, which is what we'll use to display. If it is not true, we're going to use it like how we are using it right now. So we're gonna do the same. So we'll copy this even on the seconds, copy that, and then paste it that, and then also we'll copy this at the end and then paste it here, then put the else. Okay, and then that's it. That's all we need to do. Just like this, now we are using this widget for two functions, so two separate methods. One will be using it to display the time here like this. Okay, this is uniform. Two will be using it when displaying the countdown of the time here. Okay, it can be either the counting up or counting down depending on the methods, the method that we have picked. All right, now let's fix all the errors. So in the quantities here we have used it. So here we have used it, which is here. Okay, here in the quantity widget. So what we need to add here is, we have said that time is required, which is going to be that index. Now here we don't need to call the is playing because we are using it here. We want it to be like this. That's all we have to do here. Okay, now if we go to the game provider here, we want it to be counting down. Okay, or counting up depending of this mode. Okay, so here first of all we're going to put the required time, and then now here we are going to also call playing to true, and then that's it. So this is going to be the same thing that we use. Let's copy even here. Okay, so here again we're gonna paste it, then we're done. Okay, now let's hot reload. So let's wait for the application has been hot reloaded. If we press here, now if we click here, you can see that we are still having the same results. Let's go back and then let's play now Yeah, let's maybe put it on hard. We can see how quickly it's writing, and then we can start. Now let's also be writing number, so you can see even the computer is writing usela mean, and then mean. So I'm gonna let it win because I want to know what's happening if the computer wins. I'm not okay. You can see that if it finishes, it's saying game over because the AI played faster than me at this time, and then it got to here, it cancelled its time, it stopped the game, and then it called this method win game. So when it called win game, it calls time up from here, and then after it calls time up from here, we got to stop where this game over on time up was called. If we look at the logs here, we should see that. Yeah, so you can see that the time was counting. Okay, yeah, the time was now counting correct. Okay, this was the entire time we were playing the game, right? And then until it gets to game over. Okay, great. So that's how we do this. Now you can see that after it's game over, we can start the new game again. Now let's try to put it, or this time let's try to win. Let's put it on easy. Then I'm gonna, now I know that it's going to be writing slower. So the computer difficulty is up to you guys. So you can put, depending on the time, how you want it to be, how fast I want it to write. Okay. Okay, you see, now I've won. This is game over. Great. So that's how we do it. Now we have tested the methods we have done. The next in the next one, first we are going to display the display time. We know that we have already created the time. This printing is just to display it. To make a widget to display it, and then we also going to make this page out. If it's game over, we want to show results here and the scores and everything. Okay, so let's do that in the next video. Thank you guys, and see you in the next video.